I'm getting ready to begin my ride on the Tredway Trail. And this trail is located across the Allegheny River in Westmoreland County. It's where 4 counties meet. You got Allegheny, Armstrong, Butler, and Westmoreland. Not sure if that's a foundation for an old bridge or what it is. It's a beautiful November day. Cross looks like an old railroad bridge. And this is the Donald Low Bob Bridge. Hope I pronounced it right. It carries traffic over the Allegheny River. And on top is Route 356. First, I'm going to ride north and see what this trail is all about. And this is my very first time on this trail. It is crushed limestone, and across the river is Freeport. Hopefully one day they will connect the Butler-Freeport Trail to this one. And the Tredway Trail is part of the Erie to Pittsburgh Alliance. There's Freeport right across the Allegheny. And there's still some fall foliage hanging on. And today is Monday, November the 6th. If time permits, I'm going to ride south on the trail to the village of Brayburn. I think that's how it's pronounced. So far, so good. Now, since most of the foliage is off the trees, you can get nice views of the river. So it's very similar to the Butler-Freeport Trail with the crushed limestone. And at one time, this was a former railroad bed. Shot of Freeport. And you have the cliff. So you're definitely in the river valley. Here's a marker of some type. In the parking area, I didn't see any brochures or maps. So we'll see how long it is till we get to the village of Shenley, or south of Shenley. It's only about 11:30 in the morning, but since we just turned the clocks back, it looks like it's a lot later. I don't know. I just feel jet lagged with the time change. I just wished we would do away with changing the clocks. And this trail isn't too long. I think according to TrailLink, it's only about 5.5 miles long. So it makes for a nice quick ride. And the Butler-Freeport Trail is 20 miles long. But hopefully they get these trails connected and we can ride from the shores of Lake Erie to downtown Pittsburgh. A lot of these rails trails go along the river or creeks because the land is flat. Because when they built the railroad, trains weren't capable of going up steep hills. Oh my, there's a nice view. Beautiful iron truss bridge. So I'm going to put on my telephoto lens and try to get some pictures of it. Wow, that's a beauty. And this is in Freeport. And do you want to know why the borough is named Freeport? It goes back to the mid-1800s, whenever boaters had to pay to dock their boats. Well, Freeport, it was free, hence the name Freeport. So anybody could dock there or pull into the port because it was free. This would be a great place for a couple of benches, maybe a picnic table. Looks like up yonder there's a blowdown. I have to find a way to navigate my bike around it. See what this is all about. Oh, just a bench with graffiti. Shame people have to do that. Where I parked under the bridge, there's about spots for a dozen or so cars. Okay, I'm just maneuvering around this blowdown. Okay, looks like it's been there for a while. Of the season. I'm hoping to get one more ride in before the weather turns cold. That might have been like a siding at one time. That's probably why that branches off. And I can see it comes up out yonder. Must have been a railroad siding. I don't know much about the history of this trail. All I know is it was a railroad line. And the trail is pretty much shaded so far, so that makes for a nice ride on a hot summer day. Temperature is going to be near 62 degrees today, so not bad for November. river access. And this is the trailhead for the Baker Trail. This trail starts, I think, in this area, and it ends at Cook Forest. It's one of those long trails. Just gonna go ahead and take a peek, and it's blazed in yellow. Yep. And there it is, the Baker Trail. Such a pretty day to ride. The only trail that doesn't follow a river or a creek is the Rail 66 Country Trail. That is located in Clarion County, and it runs along Route 66. I did the trail last month. Beautiful trail. I highly recommend it. And so far, this trail is very quiet. I don't hear much in the way of traffic. And I believe this extension is fairly new. I believe it's the Shenley extension. And probably one day it'll probably connect to the Armstrong Trail. They are extending the Armstrong Trail from Roston to Shenley. And please, please, please do not trespass on that section. And this might be end of the line. I'm at the end of the line. One day this trail is going to connect with the Armstrong Trail. And they are doing work on this bridge. It was an old railroad bridge. So hopefully in a year or two I'm going to be able to ride across it. Can't wait. Yippee skippy! And there's the tracks. I don't want to get too close, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around and ride back. So far, this trail is very scenic. I'm impressed. When I get back to the parking area, I'm going to continue south past the River Forest Country Club and into the village of Brayburn. I think that's how I pronounce it. Winds are supposed to pick up later on. was a quick ride. Now I'm gonna complete the rest of the trail. You could get to this trail from the Butler Freeport Trail. You just have to ride across the bridge. Trail hours dawn to dusk. No motorized vehicles. Now we're going to ride to the River Forest Country Club. And here are some markers. I'm not going to read them off to you this time, but I will take pictures and insert them into the video. But I do have to point out this interesting tidbit. So a covered bridge was built by the Tanning Bridge Company in 1856. And it was a wooden bridge, and it was supported by 4 stone piers. But just after it opened, a tornado struck the valley, and it lifted the bridge from its stone foundation and crashing it into the Allegheny. And they built another covered bridge, and that lasted until about 1874. And it says here, quote, "The cantilever bridge was completed in 1965 and is commonly known as the Freeport Bridge." Okay, and the marker says this trail follows the abandoned grade of the historic Allegheny Valley Railroad. Grade. nobody could find parking. But if you park under the 356 bridge, it's not too hard to find. The only problem is there are only maybe half a dozen spots. So I'm sure on nice days it can fill up quickly, especially on weekends. And this marker explains the Massey Harbison story. So the Harbison family moved to this area in the early 1790s. They lived in a log home, and that's where they got the name Harbison Township, which is in Allegheny County. And then in the 1790s, the Native Americans were fighting the settlers. So this, I will go ahead, I'm not going to read the entire marker, but I will go ahead and insert pictures, and that way you can read it at your own pace. Yeah, it's just too much here for me to read. But the early settlers did build log cabins. They used whatever wood they could find. So there was no running to Home Depot or Lowe's to pick out materials. Attention. Oh, what's this? Oh, looks like a bridge piling something. But the Butler-Freeport Trail overshadows this trail, and that trail is beautiful. That's one I highly recommend that you ride or walk. Here's a beautiful view of Allegheny. And across the river is Harrison Hills Park. Those trails are beautiful but challenging. I did the 6-mile loop last fall. Got my heart pumping, but it was so worth it. So there are restrooms and a picnic shelter along this trail. And as of November 6th, 2023, the bathrooms are out of service. So make sure you go before you ride. And this is the waterfall. Right now it's not flowing too well, but after a heavy rain I'm sure it's gushing down. Beautiful spot, and there's also a few benches. Looks like remains of a foundation. Could have been like a spring house there at one time. Neat old foundation. Oh, beautiful foliage still. Downstream there is a state park called Allegheny Island State Park, and it's only accessible by boat. I've never been there, but maybe one day I might kayak there. It's down towards Oakmont. Across the river there's some industry, and also Natrona Heights sits up on the bluff. And this must be the parking area near Brayburn, however you pronounce it. And this is end of the line. End of the line, so I'm going to head back to the Freeport Bridge and head off. It's a very short trail, great way to wind down the season. Beautiful trail, I highly recommend it. And I will say it's short but sweet. Another positive about this trail, there are no major roads to cross. This must have been a foundation to something. It's interesting what you find along these trails. You see remnants of days gone past. Just taking the break on my ride back and enjoying this beautiful view. Got a little whirlwind of leaves.